Hello, Anabolic Academy here on Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Picked up a few new subscribers, which is always nice. Thank you for subscribing. And please continue to subscribe, like, share. So I got a great bunch of questions. So we're going to just jump right in it. Of course, one of my favorite subscribers, Fran is the man, sent me a bunch of questions. And I have some other questions as well. But let's start with Fran is the man from Instagram. Let's start with his questions. How do you describe your training style? Fast, explosive like Branch Warren, or controlled like Nick Walker? It's probably somewhere in between. You know, the truth of the matter is only Branch and Johnny Jackson can train like that and grow. I mean, they were freaks of nature. Their form was horrible, but they still grew. They were meant to be bodybuilders. I mean, anybody else who trained like that would probably hurt themselves or not see the best potential they could possibly can. So, controlled mind-muscle connection with intensity and discipline and consistency is how you want to train. The form is 100% necessary to get down pat. Don't do what Branch Warren or Johnny Jackson did. Have the same intensity, right? But don't do what they do. Even though I love watching them before I go to the gym, those old videos, they're great to get you psyched to go to the gym. All right. Next question. Where do you think is today's mecca of bodybuilding? I don't think there is a mecca. I think it's spread out everywhere. It's become so globalized. It's not like, due to social media, the internet, advancements in technology, it's not like, oh, if I want to be an actor, I need to move to Hollywood. Or if I want to be a bodybuilder, I need to move to Venice Beach, California. It's not like that anymore. I mean, if you're in New York and you want to be a bodybuilder, you would train at Bev Francis Powerhouse. If you're in the Middle East, you would go to Oxygen Gym. If you're in Las Vegas, you would go to what's the name of that guy who won the 212? Flex Lewis's gym, right? So I think there's kind of spots everywhere. I mean, there's the Redcon One gym in Florida that Kai goes to. I mean, there's so many hardcore gyms that are around. Even in Jersey, the gym I go to, Signature, that's where Clarita went. I mean, if you're in Texas, you would go to Metroflex. I mean, it's just not like it was. I don't believe there is a mecca anymore. I think everything has changed. I think you could probably be noticed and have opportunities no matter where you are in the world. All right, next question. Again, Fran is the man, because he truly is the man. He sends me most embarrassing gym or bodybuilding moment. Well, this was great. I was doing close grip bench press. I was doing triceps, and I had one plate on, and I had a suicide grip, right? So I was holding it like this, and this was one of the Olympic bars that spun. It wasn't solid. You know what I mean? For some reason, the fucking bar. I don't know if if that was intentional or it wasn't intentional. If they were made that way, if they're not. But I was kind of in my heyday in my early 30s, and I was going fast, trying to warm up with one plate, right? And it slipped out of my hands because I had the suicide grip and hit me right in the stomach. Boom! And I went, hooray! It was just pretty embarrassing. Another embarrassing moment, I think everybody has been through this. I was actually squatting on the Smith machine. I had 405 on, and I thought I had locked it in place, and I didn't. I went right down on my fucking ass. That was pretty embarrassing. Those two, I'm sure there's other things I did, but those two are definitely the worst. Okay. If you are 18 years old right now, do you think you will end up being one of those tripod gym guys? Dear God, I hope not. Oh, God, I hope not. You know what? Actually, it happened to me today. I was doing legs today, and there's a hamstring machine. And right by the hamstring machine is like this, I guess you could call it a squat machine, right? So nobody was using it, so I had my stuff on the squat machine. This girl walks and tries to get the squat machine. So I move my stuff to be polite, with that. And she wasn't using the squat machine. She actually wanted to use the mirror that was in front of the squat machine so she could take pictures of herself. And she was posing and doing this. And I'm like, it's not even embarrassing to these young kids that you're so self-centered and everything has to be on Instagram. It's not even, it's like acceptable. It's pathetic. I hope I would never do something. I hope I would be like that. I hope, but I mean, I probably would. Because I did everything else that everybody else did when they were 18. I used to wear my pants hanging down around my ass when I was 18. Do you think it's possible to grow big legs only doing leg curls and leg extensions? No, not even close. Matter of fact, that's one of my other questions. I might as well just go into the other question: is how to build big legs if you're just not genetically gifted with legs. I mean, it's very difficult. That happens a lot. Matter of fact, that's the whole reason they came out with men's physique, is because they were like, hey, we're losing money here. There are plenty of guys that want to compete but don't have legs because they can't grow their legs. Let's open a division for guys who don't have legs, and we won't judge legs. It's difficult, but in order to grow legs, you have to squat, free weight squat, free weight squat, free weight squat. That's necessary. That's necessary. But listen, if you have really, really poor legs and you need that to come up, they can improve. They will improve. You get them as best as you possibly can get them. But if you have like a great upper body, like one of those physique guys, and they have no legs, odds are it's never going to catch up. But it doesn't mean you can't improve what it is now. And then again, you also never know, right? Sometimes, these guys, I've seen bodybuilders that have trained legs and they made great improvements on legs, like Blessing. Blessing is doing the Chicago Pro this weekend coming up. And he brought his legs up in the last couple of years, right? But then again, he's a monster. So, but no, definitely not leg extensions and curls. No, definitely not. If you had a choice to coach any pro bodybuilder, who would it be, past, present, and why? That's easy. Kevin Levrone. Are you kidding? I'd look like a genius. The guy literally is probably the greatest genetical freak that ever walked the face of the earth. 16 weeks out from the Olympia, 12 weeks out from the Olympia, he would start training. He would look like a regular guy. And we could go look at pictures. He would look like a regular guy. And then he would be this monster, and he'd break the top 5 in the Olympia. It was absolutely amazing what he could do with his body. And supposedly he did it because it wasn't his plan, but he had gotten hurt and he laid off the off-season process. And he said, oh, screw it. I got to compete and I got to make a living. And he just went and he just grew. And he's like, well, if I don't have to do all this craziness in the offseason, I'm not going to. And he would literally look like a regular dude that was kind of like in shape. You would look at him and go, oh, that guy goes to the gym. He looks good. And then all of a sudden, like little 3 to 4 months later, he was a monster and destroying people. I don't know. So yeah, I would train him because I would look fantastic. Right. And then like some average kid would want me to train him and I'd be like, I don't know, kid. I don't know what to tell you. Next question. Were you nervous or scared when you had to do your first self-injection? No, I was not nervous or scared. I was actually excited. I remember I was 21 years old and I was with my friend and we were going to like inject each other. It was just ridiculous. And and I was like, all day I was waiting, to go hang out with my friend that night. We were going to go to the gym and then we were going to do it. And we're in his car and he hit me in the shoulder and I hit him in the shoulder. And I remember being so like excited because I wanted to get big and everything, And now it's like, it's ridiculous. But how old was I? 21, 22, whatever, how old I was when I did that. It's ridiculous. But that didn't make me nervous or scared. You know what I'm scared of? I'm scared of failing. I'm scared of failing, which is why I keep going with this podcast. I'm scared that I'm going to die and be a failure. So that's why I keep pushing along and just driving forward. That's what I'm scared of. But no, I was never scared of injections. Okay, here's another question. Lower back pain and squatting. What to do if you have lower back pain when you squat, or if you have lower back pain in general and squat? Okay, well, first of all, you got to find out what's wrong with your back, okay? Because I'm not a doctor. So you have to go and find out if it's severe, if it's not severe. There are certain things, it might be the form. You might have terrible form squatting and it's hurting your lower back and it's just this quick adjustment. I've heard of guys getting like tension and stress and pain in the lower back from using D-ball. There are severe cases with lower back pain and you need some kind of operation or fusion. So you really got to go check it out. You have to go to an orthopedist and see what the problem is. I can't answer that, but I could answer what you could do in place of it. There are plenty of machines that you could use today that aren't going to be as good as squatting. Nothing is as good as free weight squatting, But if you truly have pain and you can't take squatting, and especially if you're not like want to compete or anything like that, I mean, there's hack squats, there's leg presses, leg extensions. They have the pendulum squat, which takes a lot of pressure off your lower back. They have the what is it? I think it's called the shark, and you stand up and you wrap the thing around your waist, and the weight is on the side, and you can go up and down. Right? I've used it in my gym. It's great, actually. It's a really good machine. Because I don't squat anymore because I have lower back pain. But that came over time. I'm an old man now, so I have to address my injuries, if you will. But if you have lower back pain, you got to figure out what the problem is first. That's first and foremost. So that I can't like diagnose ever. But you first and foremost, you got to figure out the problem was, then address the problem, and then go from there. I mean, I had upper back pain, and it turned out I needed an operation, and I got it in 2020. Yeah, during COVID, it was great. But I did get the operation in 2020, toward the end of 2020, and I had 3 herniated discs that need to be removed and then replaced with bone, spinal stenosis, and those 3 discs had to be fused. So if I do have a picture of the X-ray, if you see the X-ray, you'll actually see them fused together and so on and so forth, and how it looks now. And I have no pain whatsoever in my lower and my back, upper back. This side of my arm would go numb. I would have pain no matter what I did or how I trained, and no matter what so I had no choice. I had to go through it. It was the best thing I did, because I'm able to I don't nearly go as heavy as I used to, but I could go to the gym now with no pain. If I want to push it a little bit, I can push it, so it's always necessary to find out what the problem is first. Okay. Question from a friend of mine at the gym. This guy is using Anadrol, wants to put size on, kills his appetite. I've talked about this with Arns a couple of times. That's common with Anadrol. I don't know why it happens. Okay, I don't know why it happens, but that's common. It happens to me. I don't use orals anymore. But if I used, a lot of times it's dose related, but some people are more sensitive to certain things than other people. So if I went to like 100 milligrams 2 a day, it would kill my appetite. 50 really wouldn't bother me too much. But here's what I say. If you're trying to put weight on and you're taking Anadrol and it's killing your appetite, don't take Anadrol. Because what's the problem? What's the purpose of taking a drug that's going to kill your appetite when you're trying to put weight on? The only way to put weight on is to eat. Anadrol helps, right? It's a great mass building drug, but if you can't eat, then that defeats the purpose. You have to be able to put that food down and hold it down. And I know there are times where I felt slightly nauseous from eating plain food. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. So just don't eat Anadrol. Don't eat Anadrol. Listen to me. Don't use Anadrol. If you want to use another oral, Dianabol, D-bol, kills your appetite a little bit too. But I mean, you could take, if you could find injectable Dianabol and just surpass that whole thing of the appetite suppression, I mean, then just do that. But just don't there's so many goddamn injectables you could take. Don't take orals. You don't have to take an oral, right? I mean, literally, you could do especially if you're a dude in the gym that just wants to get in shape and put size on and look good on the beach. Literally take testosterone and equipoise, and you'll blow up. You'll have amazing results from that. You don't need to do an oral and do crazy high amounts and what else can I take and blah, blah, blah. Literally, like test and DECA, test and EQ, test and Masteron. If you want to get crazy, use Tren, but I don't suggest anybody use Tren unless you're competing. It's just not necessary. Really isn't. It's very toxic in short periods of time. Same thing with orals, short periods of time. But yeah, just don't take it. Don't use it. It just defeats the purpose. Anyway, that is going to be it for Anabolic Academy. So please like, subscribe. If you are in the New Jersey area on Saturday, July 29th, I will be at the Muscle Beach NPC show. Jason Arns is the promoter. And obviously, you guys know he's a very good friend. And it is in Monmouth Regional High School in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I will be there. I will have a booth there. If you're in the New Jersey area, please come down. Please. It'll be fun. And you can hang out with me. I'm a fun guy. And it'll be fun. And you get to hang out with me. That'd be cool. And maybe if you're nice, I'll give you a shirt. If you're nice. If you're a nasty bastard, you ain't got nothing.